2020 has been the most unprecedented time that I can ever remember, and it has really affected us here at Muskogee Public Schools. We'll talk about three different things that we're really doing that we have continued to do, and really the pandemic has really not had any impact on that. One is our bond construction. You're going to see a lot of things happening across the community, and I'm going to talk about that. Number two, we are using the pandemic as an opportunity for innovation, and I'm going to talk about innovation today. And then number three, student engagement. This is the most important time to really making sure our students are engaged. We had our opportunity to actually have what's called a topping out party. The topping out party happened at Tony Getz. It was actually November the 4th. During that time, what we did was we really recognized the teachers and staff that would be moving into that building. And then also, we had the opportunity to really tour the facility and really get an idea of what it's going to be. The next project on the bond issue is Alice Robertson. You might notice as you drive by that there's a lot of work that's being done right now. Both of these projects, don't forget, will open brand new next year. So they will be ready to go for the 21-22 school year. The last project, and it's really the fun project there at the stadium up there on the hill, they just placed the 4 field lights. The field lights really can be seen from both sides of the highway. In January, you'll see the bleachers start going up on both sides, and then also the field house will begin to come in out of the ground. So really happy to see that progress that's going to happen there at the high school. Today I was just reminded of a story by a friend that called and talked to me about the pandemic and kind of the issues that they were having, but reminded me of this story of Dwight D. Eisenhower. They asked him, "What do you attribute the victory of World War II?" And he said, Andrew Jackson Higgins. Andrew Jackson Higgins, why? Well, this is the man that actually made the flat bottom boats. He had a company in the middle of the United States that were building boats for fishermen, but mostly, and they were in swampland so that they would not hit the bottom of the rivers in different places. When he brought the Allied leadership together, General Eisenhower basically said, we've got to find a way to get our troops from the ships to the shore. And he commandeered Higgins to actually build these boats. He went from 100 employees to 3,600 employees from 1943 to 1944, and actually made about 6,000 of these flat bottom boats. They were able to take all of the supplies, and were able to bring all of the troops in, and this really made the difference. We all know this as the Normandy invasion that happened in 1944 and really made a difference in the war. I mention that story because I think it's important for everyone to know that there is a correlation to this pandemic in that story, because I think right now is a time for us to think outside of the box. Our world is changing. I mean, education will never ever be the same. I know that students, they're born with devices and different things and technology in their hands. So teaching in that manner and doing virtual education is very important. So we're going to have to encourage our team, and that's what we're doing at this point in time, is really thinking of new and different ways of engaging and teaching our kids. We're never going to go back to the same. I am actually asking our team to be a part of innovation. I'm encouraging our team to think new, think different. I want students that are engaged. I want students that understand the teaching and learning and understand where they're going and what they're doing and how to do the work. And so we're really encouraging our staff to think outside of the box and really start thinking of what can we do differently than we've ever done. Let me tell you the 4 or 5 things that we're doing specifically right now. One thing is we are surveying our parents, students, and staff. We want to know what's working and not working. We're designing and developing a program that's going to be for virtual learners. Next year, we will have a virtual academy or a virtual school. We're right now looking at our staffing. We know that we're not staffing appropriately. Our staff is doing a great job of trying to support our students on a daily basis, but we're probably not providing enough staff to make that work. That's one of the things we're looking at. The other is looking for a school site. We're looking at a school site that maybe would house some of those virtual learners, because we know that staying at home and not having any connectivity is not the right answer. We know that we have to have tutoring, and we got to have teachers on staff and ready to help those students in person if need be. The last thing I'm going to talk about today is really student engagement, and it's so important that we do this because with a pandemic, it looks so different this year. First thing I want to say is I am really proud of our teachers. Our teachers have done a fantastic job. We're doing what's called Google Meets, and each hour, students are getting on each hour with their teacher and basically getting lessons. And the lessons are being taught online, much more engaging than they've been.
You need me to help you with that?
No, I got it.
No, you're good? Okay, bye, sweetheart.
We've already discussed that a mineral is a naturally occurring inorganic solid. If I told you that every one of these is the exact same.
We're really proud of our teachers for stepping up and really making this all happen. The other thing that we've done is what's called a student advisory council. I wanted to really get students in, sophomore, juniors, and seniors, and really have conversation about student life and how we can improve all of the things that we're trying to do, and also that it's quality information. So the last thing is the superintendent's honors banquet was canceled last year. We've gone to every site and really recognized those top 1% students that basically have scored in the top 1% at their school sites. And we were able to recognize them specifically. So we're very proud of those students. Next year, hopefully we'll be able to have our honors banquet again and really honor them in a much bigger fashion. I want to end with this. I know that 2020 has been a tough year. I mean, I think we are really looking at the glass being half full at this point. We know that it's going to be a time to where we've learned a lot and that we can provide education differently. I don't think things will return to the same after this year. I think we're going to have to think differently, and change is all around us. So I'm excited about that change. I think it's a good thing for us. It's going to help us improve, help us be innovative, and help our students really be provided a product that's much better than ever before. Being a part of this community, Muskogee is so important, and as we grow as a community, education has got to grow as well. And I know that, and I'm committed to making sure that Muskogee Public Schools is producing the very best students and that we're providing the very best product that we can. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited about the opportunity to be able to bring to you some of the information from Muskogee Public Schools. And I hope everyone stay safe, and don't forget, wash your hands, watch your distance, and wear a mask. Thank you, and it's always a great day to be a rougher.